Welcome, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Goodman, Director of Marketing and Development for the YMCA of Northwest Louisiana, and we're here at 318 Latino Studios for Shreveport-Bossier, my city, my community, my home. And we're doing something we haven't done yet on this podcast. We're talking Mardi Gras. So thanks, guys. I've got Tony Richardson and Karen Baker.
Yes.
I got that right?
Yeah,
That's correct.
Okay, I don't want to get that wrong. All right, guys. So both of you are part of the Krewe of Gemini, the oldest parading Mardi Gras crew in Shreveport-Bossier. We recently kicked off Mardi Gras season 2025 with Twelfth Night. So my first question for either of you is, tell me when Twelfth Night was and some of what happened that night.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
You can go.
So I'm extremely excited. The 12th night is going to be, it's called that because it's the 12th night after the birth of Jesus. So it's the Epiphany, and it does tie into the Christian calendar. And so we celebrate Mardi Gras because that's the official day that we get to kick off the Mardi Gras season. And all the Mardi Gras crews of Northwest Louisiana get to be celebrated and highlighted. They all walk the stage. Their captains introduced, their kings and queens and their royal court. Members of the public are invited to attend, and so they come out to be able to celebrate, again, the kickoff of Mardi Gras as well as the royalty groups of every crew. That morning of 12th night, we have a mass out at St. Pius. We have a member who has set that up, John Mano and Lynn Mano. They've been amazing in helping to keep that as a standing tradition to bless the year, bless the safety and the health of everyone involved with Mardi Gras and everything moving forward with the season. So.
And where was y'all? Did you have a formal something that evening of 12th night?
So 12th night is extremely casual. It's not formal. Everybody's, is in jeans and Mardi Gras jackets and so forth. So we really try to make it extremely casual and a great fun get together. But the program is somewhat formal in that we have a blessing and the pledge and a formal introduction of all the crews.
And that was all at the church?
The church mass is in the morning. It was at 9. And then later on that evening at 6 is when the doors open, and the presentation started at 8 p.m. over at the Bossier Civic Center. And they were amazing to assist us with the venue. And it's an open bar, and everybody decorates their tables. And so the crew of Harambe won the table decorating contest. This year we had all the security that were there that night as the judges, and so they had picked their table.
So at Bossier Civic Center, is every local crew they're at the same location for 12th night?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I want one of you to clarify this or just explain this because I learned this yesterday. So explain to folks out there the difference between or what the role of a captain is versus a king, or what does a captain do and what do kings and queens do?
I'll tell you from a queen's perspective, it's not going to be much different from the captain, but that should be your question, I think.
Well, I'll take that. So the captain's responsible for coming up with the theme for the year and working with the royalty court chair and selecting who your royalty is going to be for the year. So, so the captain's on the outside looking in to all this stuff. So the king's role is just really to represent the Krewe of Gemini, or their distinguished crew, whoever they're with. So I have more of a financial responsibility as being captain to the crew, and oversight of the board of directors. They work with me as well, and then putting at various ad hoc committees to, push our initiatives through the year. So really, it's two completely separate, different roles and responsibilities within the crew.
And does the captain ride?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. Captain takes on a really leadership role, just like a president of an organization would, or a CEO. The financials and all the review of the bylaws and all the inner workings of that crew. It's not just, hey, let's get together and throw some people on a float and call it a parade. It is a year-long commitment. It's actually really a 2-year-long commitment because the captain-elect is going to be shadowing the current captain in order to prepare for his year as captain. And so rightfully so, the captain gets his own float to be able to ride in the parade, and it's his parade. He gets to lead the parade. It's his crew that he's introducing to the public, and so the king and queen and it's their royal court gets to actually just serve in the honor of the crew and of the captain, and it's a huge blessing to be able to be asked to be queen and to serve in that role, and then introduce Mardi Gras to the Northwest Louisiana area.
Love it. All right, Tony. Well, we talked a little bit about this off camera. You're originally from Michigan,
Yep.
but are now captain for this year's 36th year of Gemini, if I'm not mistaken. So my question for you is, tell me how you first got involved in Gemini.
So, good question. So, we had some good friends that we were out with one night, and it was Mardi Gras season, and we enjoyed coming to the parades and really never thought about joining the parade. But she got in my wife's ear and said, "Oh my God, you have to join. You have to join. Just try it once. Just try it once." So we tried it once, and that was 12 years ago, and we haven't stopped since. So it was fun. We enjoyed it. We actually started our own float. I was float lieutenant for 10 years. With 32 riders, so it was one of the larger floats. But we just absolutely loved it. Enjoyed all the different aspects of it.
And tell me, just drill down a little bit into that. What'd you like so much about it? What were some of the aspects about Mardi Gras that were so appealing?
So the work that goes on behind the scenes, putting Mardi Gras together for the community. I mean, theme announcement, it's an event in itself. Coronation is an event in itself. Fall Flambeau, when all the families come together. The work days. It's just so much love and compassion for Mardi Gras, and the energy that goes into it is nice. And then icing on the cake is when you can throw trinkets and beads and all the things to the kids and the stuffed animals, and just watching the smiles on the kids' face. It just changes you as a person. So it's giving that giving back, and then the joy they get out of it is very rewarding.
And I think I've heard you talk, I mean, we have the word community in the title of this podcast. I think I've heard you talk about kind of the different compositions of crew, like the different types of people that make up a crew and how that was appealing to you. Is that something you said at some point, or is that accurate? That, I mean, you get people from all walks of life in these individual crews. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. And we saw that at our Mardi Gras Mass. I mean, every person in the city was there, and it's nice when everybody has different opinions, their own opinions, thoughts, and ideas, but when they come together as one, it's very nice. And even the reception afterwards, I mean, we're all having king cake, drinking coffee, talking Mardi Gras, talking about our families, our kids, our wives, husbands. I mean, we're all just one.
It's a unifier.
It truly is.
Well, Karen, if I get any of this wrong, please correct me, but I believe you first joined the Krewe of Gemini back in 2007. Mm-hmm. You were queen for the 30th year of Gemini and are a current board member.
Yes.
My question for you is, what is Gemini for you, and what are some of the reasons you continue to give so much of your time to it?
It's kind of a loaded question because it is just so much to me.
You told me there were some things I can't ask you,
right,
but you
told
me
look,
this can't be one of them.
Yeah, we were talking about some things. Anyway, no, so I'm from South Louisiana, Cajun. Houma, Louisiana, through and through Cajun. And so I grew up with Mardi Gras. I grew up going to the parades, dressing up in costume, and accidentally following Mardi Gras floats where my godfather was throwing Mardi Gras beads, and followed the float for two whole blocks and then didn't know where I was. I mean, like that is ingrained in me. My grandmother was queen of a Mardi Gras crew. My father was king of Hercules and a duke in Homus. And so it's just a part of life in South Louisiana. So moving to North Louisiana and knowing that I could be a part of it.
What year did you move here?
So I've been after graduating from Northwestern, I moved to Shreveport in 1992.
Okay. So
And
Mardi Gras was just, I think Mardi Gras maybe
just started.
What did we say,
89?
Okay.
Yes, yep. And so some friends of ours, we were starting a career and, raising a family. And we just felt like we needed some time that was just us, not kid related. And so it was a great opportunity. We had another couple invite us, Jolene Woods and Robbie Woods had invited us to come and hang out and experience all that was Mardi Gras with the Krewe of Gemini. And I was in, of course. I mean, you didn't have to say it, you had me at Mardi Gras, but for us to be able to sign up and join and then be able to kind of get together as husband and wife and just get together with adults and socialize, it was everything. And so one thing led to another where you get to know the members, and it's like any other organization, the more you put in, the more you get out. And so we attended every event and got to know all of the beautiful people in the Krewe, and we just can't imagine our life without them. My best friends are on my Mardi Gras float that we ride with. We get together at least once a week, if not once every other week, to just get together to talk or, eat dinner or whatever. And so they're just a part of my life in no way I would have ever imagined.
So you've been around Mardi Gras here for a long, long time. Talk to me a little. I was born here. I was born in '73. So when I was growing up, never saw a Mardi Gras here. Right. So as someone who's kind of been here from the beginning of Mardi Gras in North Louisiana, tell me how it's evolved and grown through the years, or how it's changed, or what it started as and what it is today.
Well, and again, I wasn't there as a charter member as the formation years, but that would be amazing to see that evolution, of course, of how Mardi Gras has transformed Northwest Louisiana. But it's specifically for the Krewe of Gemini, we have just become more, I think, intent on making sure that we are being responsive stewards of our members' funds, that we are making sure that we're providing a huge party for the community. The crowd has definitely got larger and larger, so much so that the city has decided, okay, we're going to sell you a 10-foot slot for $75 at each parade. So they're benefiting from, the joy that we're having with this parade. And the economic outlay just gets larger and larger as to what we can provide the community when we do provide a parade. And again, we're not the only group that parades. There are other organizations and other crews that have a parade within our community, and they too are part of that economic impact. And so it's surprising to have people that come over from Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, just to come to the parade. It's wild, and because we always kind of just think it's going to be everybody locally coming to the parade, but it really is far outreaching than that, and so it's amazing.
Yeah, actually, that was kind of headed to my next question. What many people don't realize is how much of an economic impact Mardi Gras delivers to our local economy. According to numbers released by the Caddo Parish Commission in early 2024, the direct economic impact of Mardi Gras parades in Shreveport was estimated to be more than $9 million. Adding indirect spending, the total economic impact was estimated to be more than $16 million a year. So just for either of you, my first part of the question you answered, which was, do people travel into the area for our Mardi Gras? It sounds like absolutely. The second part is, can you talk about some of the different ways that local Mardi Gras delivers an economic impact? Maybe some ways that people isn't immediately evident or obvious to people.
I can touch on that. So the Tourist Bureau they did an economic study, I think it was last year, and they measure the draw of people from Houston, Dallas, Tyler, Marshall, Texarkana, and they have some calculations where they show how much money those individuals bring. And kind of the summary of the report was the city somehow needs to spread Mardi Gras more over the weekend, have a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday, because it's obviously bringing an economic impact. So creating more days of opportunity in Mardi Gras would generate more monies for the city.
Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, there are parades that roll on Saturdays and parades that roll on Sundays. There are no large parades that roll on Fridays. Is
Correct.
That accurate?
Not that we're aware of.
Okay.
If something's changed, we're not aware of it.
Is that something you guys in the future anticipate seeing change here locally?
The reason we're laughing is because we'd love to see that change. That's amazing. We're familiar with night parades down in South Louisiana, and on a Friday night, and then they parade on Saturday afternoon, and then they parade Sunday afternoon, and so that's just something we're familiar with. But
what are the barriers to a achieving that?
City officials.
Okay.
They have to approve the permit, and they have to approve the guidelines that go along with the parades that occur within the city. So, they sort of have the control as to whether or not that can happen and evolve into more crews being able to parade on different days.
And are you guys aware of anyone actively lobbying the city to implement maybe these changes?
Other than the 1,000+ members that are going, please, with the mayor and the city council and the MPC and anybody who will listen to us and say, please, this is a positive for the community. This is bringing people together. It's, it's really just such a great experience. And so we're hoping that they're going to listen and maybe allow some other crews to parade and evolve. And that way we can have more events that bring an economic impact to our area.
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard of that. That'd be great. So right now, I guess there are 4 major parade days in our local Mardi Gras season. Is that right? A Saturday and Sunday one weekend, and then maybe a following Saturday, Sunday.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right. So the Krewe of Gemini parade draws hundreds of thousands of spectators each year along the data I have here along the 5.5 mile parade route. My question for you guys, either of you, is when will Gemini roll this year? What day? And talk to me some about its particular parade route.
You're the captain. It's your parade.
The parade this year is March 1st. Should be about 72 degrees and sunny.
Saturday or Sunday?
It's a Saturday.
Okay. And what times it kick off generally?
We'll kick off about 3:30 this
Okay.
year. We have to be wrapped up by 7.
Okay.
That's our agreement with the city and what
Okay.
we're committed to executing on. Channel 3 will be set up at Veterans Park to air the parade. We're going to take the same route.
Is that where it starts at Veterans? Or where
No,
it's-
so we'll start at Scyport,
Okay.
basically,
Okay.
downtown,
Okay.
and then take the same track down Clyde Fan,
Okay.
turn on Barksdale,
Okay.
and then turn down to Duck Pond,
Okay.
and finish up at Preston.
Okay.
So that's
Clyde Fant to Shreveport-Barksdale to East Kings Highway.
To East Kings
Highway.
and end at East Kings and Preston.
Right.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So for people listening who are interested in becoming a part of the crew, give them some words of wisdom, or simply, what's the best way for them to get involved?
Just do it. Just commit. Just come on. Get involved. Come on to our website, krewofgemini.com. You can click the events tab and become more familiar with what all's happening and what all you can attend. Reach out via Facebook. You can let us know that you've got interest in becoming a member. You can get the application on our website as well. And if you're just wanting to kind of put your toe in the water, we have a huge event on February 28th, which is a Friday. It'll be at the Krewe of Gemini Den, which is on East Texas in Bossier, and it's our float loading party. And so it'll start about 6 p.m. and the public can come. It's open to the public. You can walk around and take a look at the floats and really kind of interact and possibly get some specialty beads, so if people are willing to share. And that way the kids, sometimes our community has maybe some more mature members that aren't able to go to the parade but still want to experience all that it has to offer. And some members have some really young kids that they just want to be able to have a family event and bring their children out. So it's definitely family friendly, and it's free to the public, so just come on out.
And one thing Ellen and I learned yesterday, which I didn't know either, is I believe every cruise balls are open to the public.
Absolutely.
You have to buy a ticket, but anyone in the public is eligible or able to attend any of the local balls. You just have to buy a ticket.
That's correct. That's correct. February 15th is the Krewe of Gemini Grand Ball and Tableau. It's the night that we introduce the royal court with all of their trains and regalia and feathers and costumes to the public and to anybody who's there. We'll have it at the Shreveport Convention Center. Again, go to krewofgemini.com, go to the events tab, and you'll be able to buy tickets to attend our ball. And it is a formal affair, so it is tuxedo and formal attire, and it is an amazing night. It's we've got a live band Do you remember?
No, I don't remember that.
I was pointing that off on you because I couldn't remember.
I'm sure it's on the website.
Yeah, it is.
Or
It
the
is.
Facebook
Yes.
page.
Live band. We've got a buffet that comes in later on in the evening, and it is just an event of splendor because it's so much happening at one time. So if you think you might want to come, definitely attend and get on the website and get a ticket.
Well, y'all, those were my set questions today. As I told you when we started, I mean, we have all the time in the world. So if there are any other things you want to get into or anything else you'd like to share, please, by all means.
And a mic with unlimited time?
Right?
No. No.
Karen's a realtor, so...
I'll talk about anything to anybody, yep.
Well, and I guess what makes the crew, the question might be what makes Gemini unique.
Yeah, I thought about asking that, actually.
So what I appreciate about us is we're about the Mardi Gras experience. So you pay one flat fee, you're going to get access to our theme announcement. That sets up our whole year of what our theme's going to be.
Let me interrupt because I never did ask, so please do tell me what the theme is for this year's Gemini.
So this year it's Dreamcatcher.
The captain picks the theme, and so he picks the overall theme, which is Dream Catchers, and then every Mardi Gras float, so each small group in the float has a theme of its own that corresponds with the major crew theme. And so the captain came up with anything that a child would have wanted to be as they were growing up, whether it's cowboys or rock star, firemen. We're superheroes on our float this year. So, I mean, there's just a wide variety of options, but each float has its own mini theme under the title of the large crew theme, which is Dreamcatchers.
And approximately how many floats will you guys have?
We'll roll 25 floats this year.
Okay. And so you were talking about what distinguishes, I think I may have cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine. So to add on to what Karen was saying, so the floats got one part of the Dreamcatcher story. The royalty is a whole nother aspect of Dreamcatcher. So you have to come to the grand ball to see the second part of Dreamcatcher. So that's the fun in the game per se for Mardi Gras around the theme. And then we have our coronation where we appoint and reveal who our royalty is for the year. And then we have a fall flambeau, and all these events are part of your package. You get access. We're not going to get nickel and dime, hey, you got to pay to come to this event and that event. So it's all in one package because we want you to share in the experience because it's a full year experience.
And give me a sense, just when people are hearing Krewe of Gemini, are we talking about 10 people? Are we talking about 10,000 people? How many people make up the active membership in a crew?
So there's over 300 members.
Okay.
And out of those 300 members, we'll have over 1,000 people at our grand ball.
Yep.
So there's a lot of people that come enjoy what we put on and produce every year.
That's right. Your membership will get you voting rights into the crew, and then you also have rider rights so that you can ride the float. And then you'll get a free ticket to the theme announcement, just as Tony was mentioning, the coronation, fall flambeau, and the ball. So it's an all-in-one price. And like you said, that way you're not buying a membership and they know now you got to go buy this ticket and now you have to buy that ticket. And so that's not how the Krewe of Gemini functions. And we just think it makes it a lot easier. And then you can buy as many beads as you want to throw off a Mardi Gras float. And that's where it gets a little crazy because every light up something or cool bead, you want it so that you can give it to your friends and the people that you see off the Mardi Gras float.
Anything else, y'all? I learned a ton. I'm so excited that we have this now in our culture. I mean, it's part of North Louisiana now,
Yep.
and I think it's just going to get more and more ingrained in North Louisiana culture moving forward, and it's really enhanced and enriched who we are.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I think that the evolution of this, I mean, who knows where it can go, which is why we always need new members coming in because we're going to get really old one day. It's just somebody needs to provide the direction for our crew, so we're always open for membership. We are excited about this Mardi Gras season.
All right, I'm going to ask you, before we end, I'm going to ask you one hard question.
Okay.
For people going, what does North Louisiana Mardi Gras have that differentiates or distinguishes it from South, or what is something different up here than maybe down there?
Well, I'll answer that. So our mission statement is to provide a Mardi Gras style, or a New Orleans Mardi Gras style parade. That's why we have fully decorated floats with a prop. So it is a New Orleans. We did mimic, so the founders mimicked that style from New Orleans.
It is the same joy of Mardi Gras without sort of the insanity. You know, I mean, it can get a little wild in South Louisiana when it comes to Mardi Gras and things that are thrown off the float and, you know, things that people might see, but that's not what we provide in Northwest Louisiana. We're trying to provide a fun as well as family atmosphere for people to come out, celebrate Mardi Gras, be a part of the experience, and not have to worry about, oh, you know, something was thrown off the float that was inappropriate or whatever. And again, not everybody subscribes to that in south of I-10, but that's a huge difference. There's some definite rules as to what is acceptable in Northwest Louisiana, and that would be the differentiating aspect. And so we definitely want to make sure that we are age appropriate for everybody who would attend.
I think we should end on that note. That was perfect explanation.
Oh, there you go.
Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Absolutely.
Oh my God,
Really
it was so good to
appreciate
see
it.
you again.
Yeah, likewise.
Take care.
And give me your real estate number while I'm
You
back.
bet.
Yeah.
318-869-5859. Here for your real estate needs.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye.